Hello, everybody. It's Monday. It's later than usual, but we're still here and we're still going to talk about the weekend's action in the Premier League. Yes, it is Monday, and I'm joined by Bobby. He's becoming a very, very regular person on the FTSN Sports channel. How are you doing, mate?
I'm not too bad. How are you, mate? I know you're not feeling great, but hopefully,
No.
other than that, you're all right.
Yeah, other than that, I'm perfectly fine. Fine. So we're basically going to go through the games, but we're not going to go through and analyze them like we normally do. We're going to keep this short and sweet. But we're going to have a look at some of the VAR decisions that was made over the weekend. So I will go through the scores first. So hold on, let me get rid of this banner a minute. There we go. So we'll start from the bottom and work our way up. Aston Villa getting a 1-1 draw with Manchester City. Wolverhampton Wanderers winning 1-0 against Southampton. Spurs edging it out 2-1 against Fulham. Forest getting beat 2-3 by Bournemouth. A 0-0 draw between Newcastle and Crystal Palace. Chelsea scraping through as well, a 2-1 win. Brentford absolutely destroying Leeds 5-2. The Merseyside derby, where everyone thought there'd be some goals, ended 0-0. Brighton and Hove Albion and Leicester ended 5-2 to Brighton, and Manchester United beat Arsenal 3-1. But as I said, Bobby, we're going to talk about some of the decisions that was made here. Some of them are right, some of them are wrong. I've written down quite a lot. I'm pretty sure you'll have seen quite a few of them.
Yes.
So we're going to start with the Brentford Leeds game first. So Brentford penalty. They had a penalty given to them. In my eyes, it was right. Sinisterra lunged in. I think that were a good call.
Yep.
Obviously, the referee gave it straight away. So I think that's fine. However, later on in the game, Leeds were denied a penalty, and I believe VAR didn't even look at it.
Yeah. Not the first time that VAR wasn't called upon, but this is the problem. VAR are also there. They can also say to the ref, "You need to look at that again." So I don't know where the communication is going wrong at the moment for this. This is the second. I think there's at least 2 occasions this weekend that the VAR could have quite easily gone. You need to look at this.
Yeah. I mean, I watched it. I watched Match of the Day last night, and I watched some of them back again today just so I could get a proper, clear view of what happened. And to me, it were a stone cold penalty.
It was.
So
that's the stuff. I had a mini rant about an hour ago on the same stuff. It's like it's ruining football, and we shouldn't be talking about refs in a weekend review. We should be talking about the game, but we're talking about, and it's not obviously not on you, Colm. It's the fact that these are big talking points, so they have to be talked about. But we should be talking about the football, not the ref. The ref shouldn't exist in my eyes. I'm from the 80s and 90s, and it wasn't until the late 90s we were starting talking about refs. I preferred the previous before that, where we weren't talking about refs, we're talking about the game. It's just got worse and worse over the years.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Obviously, when VAR came into it and everything, I was a bit of a skeptic. I was like, is it going to work? Is it not? It's shown times where it's been really, really good. It's made crucial decisions. And I don't know what it is, but recently, I mean, you might be able to shed a bit more light on it. But recently, it seems like it's getting more wrong than what it is right.
Yeah, it is. And the worrying thing is EFL and WSL are planning to have the rollout 23-24 season, but they voted today they don't want it as it stands because it's that bad. And I don't blame them because it's a bad system right now, but it works in Europe. This is what annoys me when everyone comes on here, like all these different podcasts, and say, oh, VAR needs to go. It's not the VAR problem. It's the people running it. And who are running it? The refs that make the decisions on the pitch wrong the first time. One game they're doing the actual game, and then the next time they're in the VAR making decisions. It doesn't make sense. This is why I can't wait for Howard Webb, but unfortunately, he's in contract with NMS, and we can't get him till December. So,
well, yeah. I mean, like I've got to agree with something that Alan Shearer said. Obviously, the whole thing of VAR is minimum interference, maximum benefit, but we're not seeing that. You know, I mean, the last point I've got on this Brentford Leeds game is the Mwembo goal. You know, they flagged it for offside, but it clearly came off of the defender's head, which means it's not offside. So why is the VAR getting involved in that?
So this weekend this is how bad it is, because obviously EPL have gone to the PMGL and gone, you need to review these. They've already come out and said that they've got a lot wrong this weekend, but they shouldn't be getting anything wrong in the first place. It's a very good system, and I don't know if you've ever got to see the system, but it is literally 360 angles and everything you can see. It's a very easy system to use. You don't need a beginner's guide to it. It is very easy to use.
Yeah. I mean, in the end, it wouldn't have really made much of a difference to the scoreline, I don't think. Brentford won 5-2. Brentford were very, very good.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would have made much of a difference. Before I move on to the next one, I just want to say we're both repping lower league teams today with our shirt.
Who have you got on today?
I've got Doncaster Rovers on today.
Oh, I've got Notts County.
You've got Notts County on. So
yeah.
They've got the lower league.
Exactly, yes.
So the next game I'm going to go on to is the Forest-Bournemouth game. In this one, the thing that annoyed me with this one is, well, there's two things that annoyed me with this one, is the fact it took 5 minutes to get a decision for this. That's how long it took. And the fact that it was given, a penalty was given for handball, but it was in so close of a range. How could he have done anything other than what he did? I don't understand this.
No, that literally is in the rule book. If it's close proximity, it can't be handball, because there's literally nothing you can do unless he's like doing this to actually move his hand towards the ball in close proximity. Then yes, that will be given. But if it just hits you in close proximity, and when your arms are in a natural position, then honestly, this weekend, sometimes I actually, apart from Arsenal who obviously lost, I would actually like to scrap the whole weekend and it's like it never existed. But unfortunately, it has, and refs are and VAR has ruined this whole weekend of good football, to be honest, because one of the games, Everton-Liverpool, I thought that was actually probably one of the better games of the weekend, to be honest.
Yeah. It is, but I mean, this one here, obviously, that has affected the game.
Yes.
Forest only just got beat.
Yeah.
So that has put a massive effect on the game. I don't think it were a handball at all. I mean, I've played defence. If you're getting a ball blasted at you and you're trying to defend it and you're turning your body, your hands naturally move with your body anyway. Yeah. And if you're at close range, you can't do anything.
No, you can't.
So that's what 2 wrong that they've done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're not doing well. We're 2 games in and we've got 2 things wrong.
Yeah.
This next one, like I said, we're going to go through it really, really quickly. We might talk about the games in general a little bit more after we go through these. We'll see what it is like.
Yeah.
The next one I have seen all over social media. Well, one of these I've seen all over social media. The other one we'll get onto a little bit later. The Chelsea-West Ham game.
Yeah.
And Mendy.
Yep.
Obviously, this affected the scoreline as well, because it would have been 2. It would have finished 2-2.
Yep.
Bowen's come in. Yeah, okay. He's tried to get over Mendy. You can see he's tried to get over Mendy, and his trailing foot has catched him. But I think Mendy stayed down and played this off because he knows he's made a mistake.
Yes.
Should VAR be getting involved in this? Should they be disallowing this goal?
No. There should, I've seen it quite a lot today. And once you see the replay and once you slow it down, it's clearly what we've all seen, that Mendy did an error and played for it. Have we got good ones to look at? Honestly, I just want to cry at this VAR today. I'm looking forward to the positives when it's actually working, because it will be brilliant. But at the moment, our refs are ruining it. It's literally our refs that are ruining it.
Oh,
and when was the last time we had an actually very good ref? I don't know if you've ever seen one.
Well, I mean, I can't remember what game it was. I don't think I've wrote it down, to be honest with you. But there was a ref. I did like it yesterday, where he made a decision, went to the VAR, and then decided to stay with his decision. That's something that I think needs to happen more.
Yes, yeah. There's a well-known one. I think it's from Romania. I think it got clipped a few months ago, where he was shouting at the VAR because they were trying to make him overturn it, and he was adamant that no, I'm not, and he stuck with his guns, and he was right, where VAR were wrong. But that is, if the ref is adamant and you can't clearly see what they're talking about, then he hasn't made an obvious decision. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, the refs can and should stick with their decisions if that's what they believe. Because as soon as you go to, because currently all commentators will say it. As soon as you go to the screen, we all know where they're going to change it, don't we? And we shouldn't be in that position where he's going to the camera. That means he's changing it. He's going to the camera to have a better look at it, surely, not to change his decision. His decision.
This is what it's meant to be there for. I mean, obviously, we did the watch along together on Sunday, and we were explaining a little bit to Ollie about the VAR is supposed to be there for clear and obvious error.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was clear and obvious at all.
No.
I just think VAR, as it says in the thing, VAR has taken the spotlight over the weekend, and it's kind of put a damper on a lot of good games that have happened. Especially some of the, I think the Man United Arsenal game were a really good game, but we'll get into the decisions that happened there as well a little bit later on. Yeah. So we'll go to Spurs and Fulham. Now this one, I'm a little bit torn with this one. Son scored the goal, and it was off. It got called offside because of Harry Kane.
Yeah.
However, Harry Kane didn't touch the ball.
Yeah.
But is it because he's attempted to play the ball and that's kind of disrupted the goalkeeper, or should the goal stand because he's not even touched the ball? He got up and said he didn't even touch it.
Yeah, but as you just said, he went for the ball and distracted the goalkeeper. That is where it is then offside.
Yeah,
and the problem is it seems to change rules from one weekend to the next, and the rule is, if Kane did what he did, and he did, then that has distracted the goalkeeper. There was one, what was it? Someone was standing in front of someone, but the goal was allowed, even though he was in an offside position. It was clearly, wasn't directly in front of the goalkeeper, but he was distracting him enough, but it was allowed. I can't remember who that was now. That was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago. I'm trying to remember who it was myself, and I can't.
But that was distracting the goalkeeper because he was in his eye line. You are going to, as a goalkeeper, you are going to think, okay, if this guy touches it, it could go this way. So I'm going to have to prepare myself for maybe changing which direction I'm going to go here. And then he just got flat fluid in the end.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the other thing that I've got in this, and I'll combine these into one. Kane's goal, he was deemed onside. However, Richarlison, when he scored, was deemed offside. But when I've watched the replays back and it's put up the lines, they look basically the same. So how can they differentiate between Kane's goal and Richarlison's?
I can't remember how much was he onside, because there's meant to be, and we discussed this today, that there is meant to be a slight advantage towards the attacker when it comes to these lines, and that I don't think has come into practice for some bizarre reason. There is meant to be a small margin where it's okay, and I don't think that's been used once again. But yeah, you can't, if it's pretty much the same, it's not making sense, is it? So that the need to change the lines personally again for me. I know they've changed them a few times. I think they need to change them again because it needs to be more clearer for us as well as fans, because we're the ones paying for it to watch it.
Yeah,
I mean,
he took his shirt off, celebrated as well. Got booked for it. But honestly, I couldn't see the difference. I could not see the difference when they put the lines up.
No, it needs to be more clear to not just us but the ref as well, and they need to stick with whatever they're doing as the margin, because to be honest, those two I did see them today, but they've gone out of my memory, maybe because it's Tottenham, but to be honest, but yeah, I can't remember that one how close they were, but yeah, it needs to be a clearer for us as well, because obviously we get to see it eventually on whatever TV channel we're watching it on. We'll get eventually to see the lines, but it needs to be more clearer to us and the ref. So, and stick with it. Stop changing this new rule and going, oh no, it's this rule. No, it's this rule. Oh, just stick with one.
Yeah, no, I do agree. I do agree 100%. So I'm going to go on to the Villa City game. I've got one for this, and I think this is a massive one.
Yeah, I was doing the game, wasn't
I? I think this is a massive one. I don't understand how it's not got as much traction against it as any other. Why has the referee blown the whistle for offside before Coutinho finishes his attacking movement? Because he was onside. Coutinho was onside.
Yes, he was clearly,
and it went in.
Yes,
maybe he might have gone in because obviously the referees blew his whistle. But isn't it now? You have to wait until the outcome has finished, and then.
Do you know who ruined it though?
I don't know who the lines. Well, yeah, I saw the linesman put his flag up.
But that's the problem, because he put his flag up. He's meant to keep it down, wait for the passage of play to go out, which is what we've seen for most of the season. Is they keep their flag down, let it all play out, then he'll put it up, then they can go to VAR. But because he put it up, automatically offside, can't go to VAR, can't be done. It's the stupid rule that I don't agree with, because I was covering the game. I said, yes, he did go off into an offside position, but at the time, he wouldn't have been offside because the ball wasn't going towards him. Then he got himself back onside. Perfect goal, beautiful goal as well. I was annoyed because I was like, what? And the weird thing is, I don't want to publicize them, but the TV channel that was showing it didn't mention that for 5 minutes, because they didn't even pick it up. And I'm like, I saw it. Why is no one else talking about this? And then they picked it up and I'm like, oh, about time. But what the heck was that about? Because even I saw it, and I don't know if you were watching it as well, Colin, but I watched it. I was like, he was onside. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, I know. But obviously the linesman's to blame here for this one. Yeah. But could the referee have not held back until it had finished? Even though the linesman's put it up, he could have not just gone, okay, I've seen it, but I want to see, and then
I wish
I'll blow.
Yeah. Well, that I'm hoping that one gets changed for this weekend, because that is a stupid rule that is in the rule book that line no flag goes up. That's why they've been kept told, keep your flag down until the passage of players played out, then stick it up if you think it was offside. Then we can look at it. But it's that stupid rule that exists. And I don't know why it wasn't taken out, but he stuck it up, ruined the whole game for me, because that would have been, Villa deserved that win in the end, because their midfield is brilliant, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, Villa deserved that,
Yeah.
The goal, Bailey, he scored, obviously, cracking goal.
Yeah.
And then this one by Coutinho, Edison weren't getting near it, were he? Let's face it. And, too little too late, because there's been a mistake by an official.
Yeah. It's just, yeah. Have we got anything good to talk about?
No, we don't.
This is like a VAR therapy session.
It is. It's a VAR therapy. No, because I've seen a lot of people discussing these things. So I think it's just good to because you're a bit of an expert about it. So
this is the thing, because the annoying part, and there is a Steven Gerrard agenda out there, and King, who's in the comments actually, is one of the ones that has got the agenda where he doesn't think Gerrard's good enough. I thought he managed that game perfectly. For 3 brilliant defensive midfielders, kind of stopped Man City playing their game. If he'd won that, pressure's off him quite quickly. But now he's only got a draw.
Mm-hmm.
That could cost him his job in a couple, because is it Villa against Leicester soon?
Yes.
That could be a game that one of the managers could get the sack for that game.
Well, yeah, it could be. You're right. But I'll move on to Everton, Liverpool. So I have a good one. I have a good one.
Yes.
I just want to say, obviously, hello to King's Football saying big up Bobby. Big up to Solo. Hope you're doing well, mate. So I think obviously Connor Cody. I'm going to call him Connor Cody then. Connor Cody scored a goal and it was ruled out for offside. I think that was a very good call. I think he was offside.
Yes, he was.
So I think they did very, very well there.
Yeah.
With that one, obviously they've got something right there. However, this is going into something a bit badder. I don't think Virgil van Dijk's tackle was only a yellow.
No, it was a red.
Yeah.
24 of us said today that it was a red. And so to me, that's enough. But the problem is, because you can get punished for a bad tackle later, but I guarantee that won't happen with Virgil van Dijk. But that was dangerous play.
Yeah, I mean, when it showed the replay, obviously, it was over the ball, over his foot, hit him square in shin. So why hasn't VAR got involved in that? Or is it because they've just decided, the referee's already deemed it as a yellow, so we'll just leave it?
This is the problem. Once again, with the lino and with the yellow, it doesn't tend to go to VAR, and the VAR could still intervene if they really wanted to, but they just don't. I don't know if you've seen a TikTok, but there was a funny TikTok the other day where he was basically playing on his console, going, "Oh, I'm going to VAR. Yeah, whatever, mate. Just do whatever you need to." But that sometimes feels like what it is at Stockley Park, where they're not really paying much attention. They're just maybe watching something else on TV or something. It does feel like that sometimes, because you should be watching, because they've got every angle possible covered in that little room they've got, and it infuriates me, because I would have said, right, come on, you need to look at that again, because that was a dangerous tackle. Because they could have done it in slow motion in about 10 seconds and gone, yeah, too high, red card, change it. Because I've seen it happen in other games in Europe where they've changed it from the yellow to the red. I think we've seen it in the Premier League as well. They've changed it from a yellow to a red. I'm sure that we have.
Yeah, we
have recently.
Yeah.
So it can be done.
I doubt it will.
No.
Because then that'll be saying quite clearly to everybody that the referee made a mistake, even though many referees have made mistakes this week. Well, I don't know. Newcastle Palace. Obviously, it ended 0-0. This could have been a 1-0.
You're going to talk about the Willock one, aren't you?
Guaita.
Yeah.
He got fouled. The referee decided to blow for a free kick, but it was his own player.
Yep.
Why isn't VAR got involved in this?
I just don't know. This one's weird, because
this is what I mean. Surely, you've just said there, VAR got the cameras everywhere.
Because this was a bit more of a torn one, because we had to do it in real time, most of these decisions today. And in real time, did you think that that's what happened?
In real time, when I watched it, I saw the Newcastle player go into the goalkeeper.
Yeah. We believe VAR were watching it in real time. They didn't think of anything of it. They thought, they would never have thought that would have actually what happened. So that one, yes, they got it wrong, but I think that one's a bit more harder for the VAR to have picked it up, because even out of 24 today, I think it was about 60% got that right. So that was a bit more trickier, I have to admit, but still, there should be. For me, I'd have two refs in there, one doing it slow mo's and little different things like that, one doing it in real time, because that one's a bit more trickier, to be fair, but it's still the wrong decision. So,
well, I mean, they could have watched it obviously in real time, and then don't they have an option to watch it in slow mo whilst whatever it is? Because he didn't get straight back up, did he? There was that little bit of a time where he was recovering. So surely they could have looked at it in slow mo there.
There was the
ref.
Yeah.
I think we've lost Bobby. But no, that could have ended 1-0 to Crystal Palace. Unfortunately, it didn't. I think we have lost Bobby. So it's just me for the minute. Oh, yep, he's gone. Sorry about that. Technical issues. There. Yep, he's gone. He will be back. But yeah, so that was my theory about that anyway. I think the goal should stood. For anybody that's just arrived, I'll quickly go through the score lines for you, as you can see there, just whilst we wait. There he's back. Look.
Oh,
welcome back.
The weather plays it.
Oh no. Yeah, I know. So yeah, I'll give VAR and everything the benefit of the doubt on that one. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, that one was tricky.
Yeah, you're the expert here, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not quite sure what this one is because I've only written the name down and I can't remember why. But it's the Brighton game, and I've got McAllister. I think it was something to do with that thunderous volley that he ended up scoring and he got ruled out. I think it was for offside.
Yeah, wasn't there someone in the way or something? Is that right?
I think so. Yeah, I think somebody was in the way, and that's why he got ruled out. But that for me took away like one of the goals of the season.
Yeah, but if technically it is offside, it's offside.
Yeah. Well, we said this before,
Yeah. If I know it doesn't. See, the problem people think of is the player needs to be directly in front of the goalkeeper. It's not. It's a distraction to the goalkeeper. So he could be like 2 meters to the left, like probably a bit too far, but maybe like a meter, and shaking his booty or something. It's still a distraction.
Yeah. From what I understand, obviously, I've played goalkeeper and everything as well.
Yeah.
I've done goalkeeper coaching and all that kind of stuff. So it's like anything that is in the obstruction of the goalkeeper's line of sight or field of vision can be classed and deemed as offside.
Yes.
So like you just said, it doesn't have to be directly in front of you. It can be at the side of you, but because it's in your vision, it can still be distracting.
Yeah, of course. And to be fair, I'm happy with that one because as a right back and you obviously defender and goalkeeper, so you do kind of have a bit of our vision as well, don't you? Especially as a goalkeeper, you've got to look at loads of different things, like who's running here, who's running there. So if you've got someone that's slightly in your vision, he is going to be a distraction. So I'm with that one. Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, Brighton still won. So there's not a big issue there at all. I think we've lost Bobby again due to the weather over there. But yeah, the Brighton still won there 5-2, so it didn't make much of a difference at all. So like I said, I'll quickly run through the scores for you again. So Everton drew 0-0 with Liverpool. Brentford won 5-2 against Leeds. Chelsea were quite lucky to win 2-1 against West Ham after a VAR decision. That was a bit... Well, it wasn't even a VAR decision because it didn't get to go to VAR because the referee blew his whistle. Newcastle drew 0-0 with Crystal Palace. Nottingham Forest lost 3-2 against Bournemouth. Again, some decisions there which will have upset some Forest fans out there. Spurs winning 2-1. Wolverhampton Wanderers won 1-0. Aston Villa, they drew 1-1 even though they probably should have won. But again, decisions have...
Sorry, Carl.
It's all right. I know the storm's probably causing a lot of effects. I thought you were trying to get out of this last one. Which is Man United, Arsenal. Obviously, United winning 3-1. Although they were Arsenal were dominant. We'll talk about the first one, Martinelli. Obviously, he got his goal disallowed due to a foul. We spoke about this.
Yeah.
I've seen things again. My mind hasn't changed. It is a foul. Yes, it's a soft one.
Yep.
But like I said, you'll be able to clarify it. But hasn't the referees been told, let it be a bit more physical?
Yeah, but it's still a foul. It didn't get anywhere near the ball. So
True.
and
True, but
that's the thing. How far do we want fouls to be? If he got the ball, but it was still soft, then I don't know. This was
Bobby's gone again. Unfortunately, he's having some internet issues because of the weather. Big up, Mars. How you doing, mate? Saying you got shafted as well as Villa and Newcastle. Yeah, we were just on about that, mate. We were just on about that, obviously. Just then, me and Bobby both agree. We said it yesterday on the show, on the watch along. It was a foul. Martinelli didn't get any of the ball whatsoever. Yeah, not Martinelli. Odegaard, sorry, didn't get any of the ball whatsoever. So it is a foul. Yes, it's a soft one, but he's made contact with the player and not the ball. However, I think it needs to be sorted out a little bit more. This needs to be sorted out because we're seeing tackles like that in other games where it's being allowed to play on. But for some reason in this game, they decided to get involved and bring it back. And then, Arsenal got the goal disallowed because of the foul. So it's a bit of a strange one. It's a bit of a strange one.
Serious. This is too amazing. Yes, it was a foul. Odegaard definitely did it on Ericsson. There you go. Oh, I'm saying it before it cuts me off again.
Yeah, I was just saying that. Even if it were a soft one, it's still a foul. He's made contact with the player, not the ball.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So
that's what should not be allowed and shouldn't be allowed in players' heads to be allowed.
Yeah.
I know it's soft, but that can escalate to get worse because if they think they can get away with it, they could, and they will. Yeah. So yeah, foul.
No worries. So we've talked about the VAR decisions. That's that done. I don't want to talk about them anymore because they're just winding me up. Because they're just terrible mistakes that need to be sorted out. So I'm going to quickly ask you about two teams here. Leicester seem to be in trouble. They're declining even more each week. What's going on at Leicester?
They've been lucky to keep the players they've kept in Maddison, Tielemans, and Barnes. To sell Fofana and buy Face worries me personally because I've seen Face defend. He's worse than Maguire. They've got financial issues, but that doesn't really explain the bad performing. I think Brendan Rodgers will get the sack if they lose against Villa. Which is it this weekend or the following weekend?
I think it's the following weekend.
Yeah, I think if he loses to Villa, I think he will be out of a job, which would be sad for him. But then I don't know who Leicester. I think we talked about this the other day, Com. Yeah. I don't know who Leicester will get because who wants that job? Well, yeah, but to be fair, if you went like Burnley style, that probably might suit him a bit, just to stop conceding loads of goals.
Yeah, true. I'm not going to bring up the Man United game, even though it is in the title. It speaks for itself. Just watch the game. Watch our watch along back. You'll see everything. Because if I talk about Man United, I'm going to be here forever, and I don't feel like being here forever. I'm not going to lie. The other one I'm going to talk about is Everton-Liverpool. 9 points for Liverpool. That's how many points they've got, I believe, from the first couple of games. Liverpool fans should be worrying a little. This is the worst start they've had under Klopp.
It's the 7-year itch for Klopp. If you actually look into Klopp's history, he has a 7-year itch in each of his 2 previous clubs. And I said, and people joked at me last season, watch Liverpool decline. And they're declining because they haven't. FSG are getting away with it because they're winning trophies. But FSG are as bad as the Glazers. When it comes to pumping money into the club, they love taking money out or making profits from it, or however you want to word it. But people joked last season when I said it. But Virgil van Dijk isn't the player he used to be. Henderson is, they've got old players in that team that need refreshing, and that would cost an absolute fortune to do. And FSG won't do it. They just won't. So watch out for Liverpool to decline because they will carry on doing this. There'll be
So
some crazy results.
you think they're going to get worse?
I've predicted that they'll be lucky to make top 4, and I'm sticking with that because I do believe this. I think they'll be lucky to get top 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've worked on my predictor today, so yeah. But this is what I do privately. Yeah. So Liverpool will be lucky to get top 4. If I'm honest, the Arthur Melo signing is not a signing that any player should get excited about because I wasn't excited when he was linked with Arsenal. So I don't know what you think of him, but I know he did brilliant stuff at Barcelona, but he hasn't done anything at Juventus. So
No, I'm not his biggest fan at all. Moss popped in whilst you were having your little troubles. He said, "Big up, obviously on about Arsenal. Got shafted. So did Villa and Newcastle. We spoke about that.
Yeah.
And he's saying here, VAR should not be reffing, which I agree with.
Well, yeah, but it is. They're there to clear up any mess. Basically, they're there to. If the ref has made a decision that's wrong, VAR is meant to be there to say, no, hang on, you need to go back to that because we think this, and then they can look at it and make a decision from that. Yeah. But other than that, they shouldn't be really getting that involved and shouldn't be making a whole talking point after a weekend of good football, to be honest.
No, I do agree. And before we sign off, mate, these are the next fixtures for everybody. All right, Leicester Villa is this weekend, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought it was quite close. Yeah.
But I'm going to go through them. We'll go through them really quickly. And I'm going to put I'm going to put a table up. Well, I'm going to draw a table, and we're going to see. I'm going to have score predictions from you in every game.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And then I'm going to say my score predictions. We're going to see who gets the most right.
Right. Okay. Go on then.
So we'll start at the top. Fulham, Chelsea.
Fulham 1, Chelsea 3.
I'm going to go with I'm going to say 3-0 Chelsea.
Okay.
That's what I'm going with. Bournemouth, Brighton.
1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. Even though they've just won 5-2.
Yeah, but Bournemouth have just won 3-2.
True. Fair enough. I'm going 2-0 win to Brighton. That's what I'm going as. Leicester Villa, the El Sacco.
I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw again, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm going to join you there. 1-1 draw. 1-1 draw and Brendan Rodgers to be sacked.
Possible, yeah.
Liverpool Wolves.
2-1 to Liverpool.
2-1 to Liverpool.
Have you heard the news about Diego Costa?
Yeah, going to Wolves.
Yeah, because he's actually in Wolverhampton. Well, he was earlier today. Yeah,
doing his medical. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a 1-0 win to Wolves.
Okay. That'll please my hometown, so yeah.
I mean, it's got nothing to do with my agenda and being a Man United fan at all. Southampton, Brentford. Oh, we've gone again. Bobby. So I'm going to quit. I'll do mine quickly because Bobby's having technical issues. So Southampton, Brentford. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win to Southampton. Manchester City, Spurs. I think this will be a hard game. Both teams doing reasonably well so far this season, but I'm going to go with 3-2. 3-2 to Manchester City. And then we've got Arsenal, Everton. I think this should be a walk in the park for Arsenal, personally. So I'm going to go 3-0 Arsenal. See what Bobby says about that, if he manages to get back in. West Ham, Newcastle. Newcastle have been playing really, really well. So I'm going to go a 2-1 victory to Newcastle. Crystal Palace versus Man United. See, this is going to be a testing game. But I'm going to call it. I'm going to say it's going to be 0-0. both teams are doing quite well. So that's my prediction for that one. And the last one, we've got Leeds and Forest. Now, Leeds are going to want to come back because obviously they've just lost this week. So Forest, who have got more in the tank? I think Leeds probably have more in the tank than what Forest do, but this is basically a derby. So I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. So that's going to be my predictions for that. We'll just wait and see a second if Bobby comes back in, so we just get the rest of his predictions very, very quickly. Unless he wants to just... There he is, look. Hi, mate.
Sorry, mate. It's proper storming out there now.
It's all right. We'll quickly get these ones, and then we'll call it a night. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I've done all mine.
Okay. Southampton, Brentford. I'm going to go with 2-1 Southampton. Man City, Spurs, 2-2. Arsenal, Everton, 2-1. West Ham, Newcastle, 2-2. Crystal Palace, Man United, 2-1 to United. Leeds, Forest, 3-1 to Leeds. Before the storm hits out again. That's literally a quick one, so I'm probably going totally wrong here. Even my partner was doing numbers in the background for me.
It is. Well, just to make sure that you know what mine are as well, so I'm not cheating or anything. Okay. Where we go from? Brentford, Southampton, didn't we?
Yeah.
So I've gone 2-1 Southampton. I've gone 3-2 City. I've gone 3-0 Arsenal. I've gone 2-1 Newcastle. I've gone 0-0 for the Palace United game and 1-1 for Leeds and Forest.
Well, good luck before the storm cuts out.
Yes.
Good luck.
Good luck to you too. We'll come back next week and see what's happened with that.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you for being here and helping me.
Cheers, Gov, for having me again.
Whilst I've been ill. I thought you went again then.
Yeah, I could be going any second because I literally hear the thunder over the mic. So.
No worries. Yeah. But I want to say thank you to everybody that's been here watching as well. If you do like the content, please do like, share, and subscribe. We're not just doing football; we do all sports. That's why we are full-time sports network, because we're covering everything all the time. Bobby, it's been a pleasure, mate. When can we see you next on the channel?
Hopefully this weekend. I'll talk to you about it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And you'll see me tomorrow for Rebels Fantasy Football if I'm feeling better. Hopefully I will be. But for us, it's thank you and good night. Enjoy your football and don't worry about VAR because everything's going to